Okay, so here we go, investment gathering 2025. So today's agenda is actually very simple, very straightforward. So as in, I myself do it, and I think it's a good habit to do it. So usually beginning of the year, we want to create this thing called a watch list. So watch list, I think I'm talking about this watch list very often. So of course, usually beginning of year, I have this general watch list to actually give me some directions what are the stocks to focus on in, of course, at least for the first half of 2025. Of course, later you will see, I've actually gathered quite a number of stocks. I think this amount of stocks can last me through the whole year. So end of the day, please remember the lessons. So basically, we are talking about portfolio. It is never about trying to target one particular stocks. So that's why I have this laundry list of stocks. And a lot of time it's not about whether this is better than that. So whether does it pass the test, can it be put inside the portfolio. So this is the reason why later you'll see I have about close to 100 stocks to share with you all later. Of course, we're not going to, myself personally, definitely not going to buy all of them. But at least, with this watch list, along the way, it's actually more efficient for me to narrow down what are the stocks to focus on. Okay, so you can see that when I create this watch list, right? So it's usually a top-down approach. Later I explain what is top-down approach. And of course, for this time round, okay, based on popular demand, we will add China stocks inside our selection. So we started with SG. Okay, then of course, the request for US stocks. We've been looking at US stocks, I think, over the past actually two years already, 2-3 years. And of course, now there's a request for Chinese stocks. So yes, I'll be very happy to explore them. And of course, along the way, when I create this watch list, we will have discussion analysis of specific companies. So really, very thank you for the questions beforehand. There were questions on US REITs. There were questions on SG banks. Okay, so later I'll share more, with you. How would I actually, are they going to be on my watch list or will I be buying them, selling them? Okay, so that's the overall. So standard disclaimer, make money, be happy. So once again, for the benefit of those who are actually joining us for the first time. So basically for investment gathering, it's a lot sharing my what I do lah. Okay, what I really do for my own personal portfolio, as in Chua portfolio. Okay, so again, I'm not here trying to give any recommendations. It's just that I want to give you more specific examples. Okay, specific examples of how I plan it. So please don't just focus on, okay, to make it more realistic, I actually go and use actual case studies. So please don't end up just take this as a stock tips exercise. Okay, so again, like I said, the way I do it, I'm just targeting 70% correct. So of course, all the stocks I actually, realistically speaking, I also didn't make money for me. Okay, so please, and of course, investment objective, risk appetite is different. So just focus on the process. So yeah, very important, especially for those who are joining us for the first time. Okay, good. Now, let's jump straight into it. So creating watch list for 2025. Okay, what is the top-down approach? So before we go into top-down approach, so it's good to have an understanding of what your portfolio structure is going to be. So I think you have seen this a lot of time. I am 70% into dividend stocks. That means I buy and hold easily for 5 to 10 years. Okay, some of the stocks I hold for 20 years. Singtel, I bought it at 170. Anybody want to make a guess when I bought Singtel? I bought it at 170, $1.70. Anyone can remember when was Singtel 170? Just for fun. When was Singtel $1.70? Anybody? Just for fun, make a guess. No guess. Come on. I'm definitely not the oldest here. Can you remember there's actually one point in time about there's one point in time the government actually want to encourage everybody to hold stocks. Then everybody actually bought Singtel. Actually about that point in time, it's about 30 years ago. So 25, 30 years ago. Okay, so dividend stocks I buy and hold. I don't really care about price fluctuation as long as it continue to give me dividends, as long as I'm confident that it can going forward can continue to give me dividends. So target hold is 5 to 10 years. Okay, so I have 30% of my funds in growth stocks. So when I mean growth stocks is basically I will happy to hold for at least 1 to 3 years. Not like buy today, okay, not like buy today, tomorrow try to sell. That's called trading. Okay, so a lot of people mix up growth stocks investing versus trading. So yes, growth stocks we capture capital gain, but it's tend more from the business perspective lah. Okay, later I'll show you more example. So we try to hold for 1 to 3 years. Like for example, um, some of the real case I had, like for example, when I bought Samudara, okay, no, Samudara a bit faster lah. I think I got 100% gain. I think 1 to 2 years. Like for example, some of you average out some of my growth stocks is like over 5 years I got 100% gain. That kind of thing. Okay, so work out like per year is about 20%. So that to me is actually growth stock. So growth stock. So basically, it's also buy and hold. It's just a shorter period, but we expect capital gain in 1 to 3 years. Okay, so of course now I have also started a small trading portfolio. So, to be very frank, I haven't got really a very proud result to show yet. Okay, like I said, as I move on in my career, I always bump into devils. A lot of people ask me to join the dark side. So sometimes I also can't resist the temptation. Went to the dark side, go to trading. Of course, there will be a learning curve. Okay. But anyway, I started, so basically just 10% of my portfolio, just a little bit of money. Okay, I do trading. So for trading, I'm doing options trading now. So I try not to hold for more than 1 month. So really idea here is I make 5%, make 10%, then I'll buy and sell, buy and sell. Okay. Also, it's actually good to have an overall understanding of your own portfolio structure first. Then we talk about watch list because different stocks will fit into different profile of your portfolio. Okay, for obvious reasons, right? Of course, if you want to buy for dividends, obviously they must be able to give steady dividends. So that's quite obvious. If you want growth stocks, there must be a very clear growth story. So understand that. So there's no such thing as what is the best stock to buy today lah. So it really depends on your investment objective. It depends on your portfolio structure. So once this is determined, right, then of course we do a top-down approach. So number one, we actually start the country lah. So what are the different stocks in a particular country, or in this country, what are they good for? Like for example, Singapore are very good for different stocks. But growth stock not as good, not as good. Later, I'm actually going to show you some data. Whereas US very good at growth stocks, but less so for dividend stocks. Okay, China same. I actually use China more for growth rather than for dividends. Because I'm actually quite happy with what Singapore is giving me for dividends. So by the way, based on dividend yield, we are one of the highest. We talk about after tax. After tax, we could be one of the highest in the Asia region, and in fact, globally speaking. Okay, maybe global, I can't say that, but after tax, we probably one of the highest in the Asia country for dividend stock. So for dividend yield, so I don't see why I want to get dividend yield from somewhere else. So anyway, that's how we do it now. Then of course we come to industry level. So this one mean top down country industry. So this is more pertaining to growth stocks. So of course, if you want to buy growth stocks, you have to ask yourself where are the growth industry. So today I'm actually going to share with you how I try to spot my growth industry, how I go and find my growth industry, and after that, of course, within this growth industry, I go and dive into what are the counters that is interesting to me. So this is basically a top-down approach, and today I'm actually going to illustrate to you with my real-life example how I actually create my watch list based on all this.